The third thing that I have learned at age 28 is, instead of screaming and getting angry at somebody because you feel that they mistreated you, express why you feel angry. And I believe that was like some Buddhist quote, like, don't get angry, but instead explain why you're angry. It causes people to have to really listen to you. Because I put it to the test recently when this coworker like really disrespected me. And instead of going off on her and screaming like I, have done with coworkers in the past, I was like, no, I need to be more mature. I'm growing up. I need to be more mature. I'm just going to have a talk with her, woman to woman. So I pulled her to the side and I said, I was very angry at the way that you spoke to me. And it caused her to pause. And it was like she had no choice but to surrender to my authority. Y'all, I've been eating up these corn dogs. I don't even know if this is my first. Well, I know it's not my first. I know it's not my first. Hashtag greedy tourist. I literally ate half a box within a few hours. You know you can't judge me, right? Because who are you to judge me? How you be eating? How you be eating? What you be eating that you can judge me? All right, ladies and gents. I got this old wine bottle and I'm going to paint it because today we are doing a paint with me. And if you have been following my channel for the past 5 or 6 years, you will know that I used to do paint with me's, right? I used to do videos called Paint with Me, and in those videos I used to paint wine bottles and just run my mouth about whatever was going on. So I'm sipping on wine. This is what I'm sipping on. How do you call it? Zinfandel. It's 10.5%. It's very weak alcohol percentage, but I'm still feeling it. And we're just gonna paint and talk about the fact that it's my 29th birthday. Not really. No, it's not. I'm lying. My birthday was on April 30, and today is May the 2nd. Now, I titled this video, It's My Birthday, because, as the New Yorkers say, because I really wanted to get this video out on my birthday. I opened my paint palette, and I'm going to decide what color I want to pick first. While I talk about, and I got my notes right here, so if y'all see me looking this way, it's because I'm reading my notes. So the topic of this video is, it's my 29th birthday. So let's talk about the hardest lessons that I've learned at age 28. And OMG, I was learning them mugs. I was learning them. Age 28 was not an easy age. So for whoever is 27 and your 28th birthday is right around the corner, I'm not trying to bust your bubble, because age 28 for you might be a lot more, you might feel more secure than I felt. I didn't feel secure because of a lot of I had a lot of upheavals with housing and finances and jobs, and it was like a crazy year, but I actually felt like it was a magical year. It was a magical age. Age 28 was very unexpected. I felt something magical was coming for age 28. Age 27. Not 28, but 27. I had been feeling that for years. And I could just always feel when very significant things are going to take place at certain ages. Like when I was 20 and 21, I knew that something significant was going to happen at 22, and it did. Unfortunately, that significant thing was very traumatic. Now, I could feel that something significant was going to happen at age 27. And I felt this when I was 22, 23, 24, 25. I just felt something was coming. And what happened at age 27 was I got my very first apartment ever in life. Usually in my videos, I be trying to be fancy. I be trying to be, you know, all the things, but I just gotta eat my corn dog paint and be Sydney. First thing I learned at 28, and y'all, these are very hard lessons to learn. I had to embarrass myself a lot, but ooh, I miss painting so much. I haven't painted, y'all don't know, I haven't painted in forever. But the first lesson that I want to talk about is I've learned to keep your judgments to yourself. And this is something that, oh my goodness, I have embarrassed myself because I wasn't trying to keep my judgments to myself. I was trying to let the whole world know that I don't like that B. Okay, of course I wasn't really necessarily saying it like that, but it's like, because we're talking about in the workplace, I feel like I gotta mention that I had a lot of rage because of a lot of proximity delusion and you know, the negative effects of the pretty girl cuss. I'm just saying that because I recently made a video talking about it. But I had a lot of like rage, you know, at past jobs because it was so much bullying, right? And I learned this lesson at the first job, right, where it was a lot of narcissists. And when you have not healed from narcissistic abuse, you attract narcissists in the workplace. Like when you haven't healed from narcissistic abuse with your parents and guardians, you a lot of the times will attract it in either co-workers, bosses, or romantic partners. In my case, it was bosses and co-workers. It's always something about the workplace. And that's why I always say, like, I don't think I was meant to like fit in. You know, I don't think I was meant to fit into regular work environments. That's why I'm like, show me how to be an entrepreneur, please. But I learned that you judging everybody and expressing your opinion about how much you can't stand people and mind you, these people were doing things that were unprofessional, inappropriate. They were crossing boundaries. I'm not gonna act like that I was totally and completely insecure and crazy, because that wasn't the case. But I didn't express my feelings in the most professional way. And I do regret that. I would just be like going on a rant about how somebody had issues, and all it ended up doing was causing me to look problematic, even though I had good intentions, and I was trying to be like a bully slayer, because I could see that this person was like, this older coworker was bullying a younger coworker. Sometimes it was me, sometimes it was another younger coworker, and I was like, we gotta stop this, girl. And if you're not gonna say something, I will. Me being the older one out of the two younger coworkers, right? But what ended up happening was people looked at me like, focus on yourself. They looked at me like, girl, you all concerned about everybody else's flaws. You concerned about what people ain't doing right with their job, but it's causing you to be slacking and mess up on your own job. And it was actually the truth. Like, I have to admit it. It's not easy or fun to admit, but sometimes when I'm so focused on other people not doing what they're supposed to do, it causes other people to look at me like, and what are you supposed to do? I do side with my opinion about the particular code. It looks like Satan. Look at how red it looks. I didn't expect that. I thought it was going to be more burgundy. But it looks like a dark red, and I don't like that. But it's okay, because I'm going to jazz it up, and it's going to be so cute when I add all the different colors and patterns to it. But this is acrylic. Yeah, acrylic. You have to put multiple coats on acrylic. But while I was focused on these coworkers not doing their job right, which I gotta say, my judgment is usually spot on. I usually be knowing who got the poor work ethic and who don't, right? I usually know, okay. And I usually be knowing, because my intuition is really strong, right? I guess my intuition is intense. And I can tell when a person don't really mean well or when they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But I was young, so I also didn't realize that by me focusing so much on what they were not doing right, it caused me to not do right. Like, they not doing what they're supposed to do, and guess what, sis? Neither are you. And that was like a hard thing for me. You know? Red, root chakra. Ah! Before I continue to paint all of these wine bottles that I got, I want y'all to know I'm not no mother effing Elkie, okay? These are wine bottles that I have collected over a span of 5 months, okay? So don't judge me. So this is the first one. The acrylic paint needs to dry, right? So this is the first coat. Obviously, you can still see the labels because it needs another coat, but this is just the first coat. It's just all red, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but I'm very excited because red is a sexy color. Like, red is like that sexual color. Red is like sexual femininity, but it's like, it's powerful sexual femininity. It's like and I just want to point out that I didn't just collect old wine bottles, right? I have also collected a soy sauce bottle, okay? It's tamari sauce, okay? So it's not all about the liquor, okay? But I really like this bottle, but I don't know what I want to do with it. It has a dark aesthetic to it, but that doesn't mean I should keep it dark. But I can see myself painting dark blue or dark gray or maybe even black. Ooh, black. Ooh, black. This one is another, it's the same one that I just painted red. And I want to do this one blue. I'm dying to do a good dark blue, right? Just like a blue theme. Dang, I got no purple? I got no purple. Well, I got to get more paints. This one, I'm thinking I don't have pink. But I do have red and white, and I can make pink. Okay, so I really want to make this very girly. Maybe pink, yellow, light blue, like something like that. I'm just feeling a vibe for the bottles based off of the color on the label, based off of the length of the bottle, because what I'm trying to do, y'all, is turn these into flower vases. Because I'm really going to collect flowers because I need some nature in this space. OMG. So the second thing that I have learned at age 28 is to focus on my dang self. And it kind of does blend in with number one. Like, it does kind of fit that same kind of idea. Don't be all up in other people's business, right? Because when you are not focused on yourself, it causes you to neglect yourself. And when you neglect yourself, you end up having poor self-care. You end up eating unhealthy, forgetting to go to the gym. You know, you start to lose yourself, you know, and you busy thinking. And that's the last thing that I want for myself, is to be running my mouth thinking that I know what I'm talking about when everybody looking at me like I need to shut the F up. That's the last type of person that I want to be. And it's not that people necessarily was looking at me like that, because they was listening to what I was saying. Powerful throat chakra, hello. I'm trying to like paint black around the label because this is a very unique label and I kind of want to keep it. Y'all see that? It has a nice, you know, design to it. I kind of want to keep it. I wouldn't say I just needed to stop talking, because with what I have experienced with narcissistic abuse, and I painted over it a little bit by mistake. Oopsie. What I have learned from narcissistic abuse and everything, for my specific destiny, everybody's destiny is not going to be the same, you know, as far as everybody who's experienced narcissistic abuse. But for me, I know that it's not my purpose and it's not my destiny to keep my mouth shut and let people just control me and run me, because whenever I did that, negative things would happen. And whenever I would stand up against somebody who, I have to be honest, was a predator, preying on me because they thought that I was weak and easy to control, and then when I would use my throat chakra and stand up to them, all of a sudden they would run. After all of that verbal abuse and manipulation, as soon as I say, hey, you know, I don't think that you should be talking to me like that, and I feel like you're trying to control me, then they will run, right? Meaning that I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, it's just my throat chakra that's powerful. It's just our throat chakras are powerful. We all have the ability to manifest based off of what we say out of our mouths. So I really need to focus on myself, because what I may have been saying about people, it may have been right, but it wasn't really my place all the time to always have something to say. Sometimes it's best to not say anything at all and let people self-destruct. Just leave. If you feel you gotta complain every time you talk about a place, then you should be leaving. Number 3, the third thing. Look how black that is. I'm gonna fix what I have accidentally painted over. But the third thing that I have learned at age 28 is, instead of screaming and getting angry at somebody because you feel that they mistreated you, express why you feel angry. And I believe that was like some Buddhist quote, like, don't get angry, but instead explain why you're angry. And it makes people really, it causes people to have to really listen to you. Because I put it to the test recently when this coworker like really disrespected me. And instead of going off for her and screaming like I, have done with coworkers in the past, I was like, no, I need to be more mature. I'm growing up. I need to be more mature. I'm just going to have a talk with her, woman to woman. So I pulled her to the side and I said, I was very angry at the way that you spoke to me. And it caused her to pause. And it was like she had no choice but to surrender to my authority, because I was acting like an adult rather than like a child. A child would say, I want it, I'm not gonna boo-boo, no, I gotta get what I want, and they're gonna scream and they're gonna cuss and like, I demand that you respect me, blah, 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 scream. But an adult is gonna say, I was very angry at the way that you spoke to me. And it's just something about that. She wasn't the only person that responded that way. I spoke to another coworker and she responded the same way. And I was talking about the situation and how I felt. And it's something about when you say that you're angry rather than to scream in anger that gives you the power in the room. And I knew it. I knew this to be true for many years. I've known this, but I didn't know how to live it. I didn't know how to actually act it out in my actual life when I really needed to. And for the first, I wouldn't say this is the first time, but I think this is the first time I've ever done it like this. Like, this is the first time I've ever done it so confidently and with so much, yes, confidence. This is the first time I've done it so confidently. And there is so much power in expressing your emotions, like explaining why you felt a certain way emotionally, rather than to just express that emotion in its rawest, most primal, animalistic, immature state. And that's something that I learned at age 28, which is, I have to say, screw the first two. That lesson right there was the most pivotal lesson. Honestly, I don't care. Like, that right there, I read off my list, and every time I would come across that one, I'm like, OMG, that's the one. I cannot wait to talk to my folks. I cannot wait to talk to my lovely islanders about that, because that was a game changer for me. Acrylic paint has a blending issue. So I paint them, let them dry, and then I do the second coat. Oh my gosh, look at my fingers. Paint hands. It's nothing better than having paint hands, y'all. It's a good vibe. As y'all know, I don't have pink, which is not right now. I had plenty of colors, but I don't have pink. I told you I went through a move and I lost a lot of things, had to leave a lot of things behind. So I was left with this little thing of paints when I had a whole freaking basket of paint. Oh my God, I don't want to talk about it. I had pink, I had purple, I had this giant thing of indigo blue because that was literally my favorite color to paint with. It was similar to this blue. But better. It was so majestic. Oh my God. I gotta put a picture of, it was a painting that I made. I think it was called Astral Sea. And I painted it and I posted it on Instagram. And I used most of that blue for the background. And oh my God. It was bliss. It was bliss using that color. Like that is, it was literally therapeutic. And so now we're going to do this one. And so I have a brighter red. Okay, I have a brighter red. And I have a white. I've been told that when you mix red and white, it makes pink. So we're going to go for it. Okay, ladies and gents. So I am almost out of my white Zinfandel. Girl, I don't know what is cool. So since I'm almost out, I'm going to open me another bottle. And this one is called Peach White. Yeah, I'll be drinking that cheap stuff until I make more money, y'all. Until I get this second job that I've been working towards getting. We drinking that $4 wine. $4 wine. This is very low alcohol percentage. It's only 8.5. Focus. Yeah. It's only 8.5. This all up in the camera. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and open this, and we're gonna, once I run out of my white Zinfandel, I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't even care to pronounce it at this point. I just be drinking, okay? But nice. I don't like the way that smell. So I'm mixing red and white. Ooh, that look like edible. Like I want to eat it. It look like cake. It look like something that you would like put on top of a cake, like icing or something. That is so pretty to me. I want y'all to see what I'm doing, because I know me, I'm an art fanatic. I love painting, illustration, and I would want to see. Okay, I'm not really good at this right now. Don't judge me. I have not done a paint with me in years, y'all. In years. How long has it been? 5 years? So I have not, like, so camera angle, girl, I got to get better with camera angles of paint with me. So don't expect like these exquisite camera angles for this video when it comes to my paint combination, because it's really not easy. I just haven't figured it out yet because I haven't really like applied myself. So that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. Look at that. Red and white. That is pretty. Can't nobody tell me that ain't pretty. That is so beautiful. I got some good colors. Okay, we made pink. Okay, so number 4. Something that I have learned at the age of 28. Address how you feel in the moment. And this is kind of an extension of the anger thing. Express how you feel in the moment. Now with this one, I'm not only talking about anger. It could be sadness. It could be joy. It could be gratitude. It could be however way you're feeling that you want to express. Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful pink. Wow, who knew that red and white could just make such a perfect... Yo, when I tell you this pink is perfect to my eye, like my eyeballs feel so blessed to look at this pink right now. This is so beautiful. I love pink, y'all. If y'all don't know, recently, like the past like year, maybe for the past almost 2 years, no, maybe about the past year to year and a half, my favorite color has been pink. And I ain't mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at the color pink at all. Like me and the color pink are literally best friends. Do anything but talk about how you feel about it to somebody without actually expressing it to like, okay, let me put it this way. Let's say somebody said something to you and you felt that it was inappropriate and it really rubbed you the wrong way. And let's say they said it in the workplace and you was kind of losing sleep over it because you didn't say anything to the person. Instead, you kind of maybe made a little passive aggressive remark to them, but you didn't really let them know how you really felt about what they said, right? Let me push that cork in because I'm tired of having that fear that it's gonna roll out. But it still was messing with your mind because you didn't let all that you really felt out. You let this little passive aggressive comment out, but it didn't really get out how you felt because it was passive aggressive. It wasn't direct. Pretty pink, pretty pink. You let it fester and you let it fester and you let it fester. And then one day you can't take it anymore. And you go to the person that made the comment and you you start getting loud, and then you start to lose your temper, and the next thing you know, you say things that you regret because you look like a loose cannon, right? That's why number 4 is address all of your issues in the moment. Don't let anything fester. And I have done that at recent jobs. But at this job, like it was about maybe a couple of months ago, I stood up to a person who was disrespecting me. I didn't let it fester. I just was like, you know what? I cannot do what I used to do. I gotta let this person know immediately that the way that they was talking to me, it was unnecessary, it was uncalled for, and I went in. I was like, the way that you was talking to me, I felt like you was talking to me like a 3-year-old, and I'm almost 30, and the woman looked embarrassed because she did not expect it from me, right? And this video is not to gloat. This video is not to say, yeah, I was the baddest bee in the room. No. I have to say this because I had put myself in mental and emotional agony because I was too immature, too scared, too timid to just say, you got me effed up. But the older I get is the easier it becomes. And I have had so much judgment towards myself because of like my passive like way. But when I started to do healing from narcissistic abuse, I realized that a lot of people who are children of narcissistic abuse, they grow up to be people pleasers. They're like natural people pleasers. And so they find it really hard to say no. So it wasn't that I was truly a coward, because when I actually look at my character ever since childhood, I actually have been quite courageous and bold and brave. It's just that I have been manipulated in diabolical ways to believe that I was not courageous. And I started to think, maybe I'm not so courageous. Maybe I am weak. Maybe I am spineless, and I started to believe things about myself that just weren't true. And so I started to, oh my God, my self-esteem didn't really stand a chance. But I'm here and I'm better, and I'm almost 30 and my self-esteem is standing a chance now. Okay, so number 5 and number 6, I was not sure if I wanted to have the two of them be blended together or separate them. Number 5 is, you don't have to tell anybody anything about your personal life. You have the right to say, I don't feel comfortable talking about that with you. And I am just now finally living in that. And it feels damn good. You do not have to give a person information about your personal life just because that's what they want. Forget what they want. What about what you need? There's so many times I will blurt information out and tell people stuff, and they will ask me personal questions in the workplace that they should not have been asking, right? Questions that I never cared to ask them. And instead of being like, hey, I don't want to go there, I would just be nervous. I would like give them an answer nervously. And I would say, so and so, they would ask me like I had a coworker ask me, how much you pay for rent? And she didn't ask me in a polite or respectful way. She asked me in a way where she thought that I was a joke. And it made me feel uncomfortable. because it was somebody standing right next to her, and I wasn't sure what was going on. Like, they about to gossip, they about to make a fool out of how much I pay for rent, which she actually did do. But while I was telling her, I felt uncomfortable. And I regretted telling her. Because when I told her to answer, she got snide about it. She got disrespectful about it. She was low-key trying to like make fun of me for how much I was paying for rent. And I regretted telling her. And I have a series of experiences in my past where I would tell people, I would give people information that I actually intuitively knew that I should not be telling them, and I did not want to tell them, but I felt like, well, you know, I watched my mom be so antisocial. She would always say that she hated people, and I felt like her antisocial personality, her antisocial behavior, it kind of like ruined her, and I didn't want to be like her. So in an attempt to be different, I'd be super social and be like telling everybody everything, and then I would regret it. So then I was like, maybe my mom was onto something. Let me wash this off my hands. My videos be running on, but maybe I'll have to condense it down, like really edit the life out of these 2 videos. But number 5, I want to expound on what I was saying. You have the right to tell people that you don't feel comfortable opening up to them. You don't have to open up to people. You don't have to tell people what your second job is, or what kind of dude you're in a relationship with, or what gym you work out at. Like, you don't have to expose your life to people if that's not what makes you feel comfortable. You don't owe anybody anything. And so that leads me on to number 6, which I said blends into number 5, which is you have the right to ignore people, okay? You don't have to give people a conversation just because that's what they want. And I'm saying this because I've had coworkers in the past and to this present day that rub me the wrong way and make me feel really uncomfortable. Like, my intuition is intense, like That's So Raven intense. And in the beginning, I used to entertain this person or these people because I could feel that that's what they wanted from me. But then I started to get in tune with my intuition. I started to say to myself, Sydney, your intuition matters more than what they want from you. Because your intuition is talking, it's telling you what you need from you, which you need distance from these people. You need to not talk to these people. And it's to this day, like, I have a coworker and it's like, I cannot get relaxed around this person. My throat chakra locks up. I can't get my words out. I stutter every time I talk to this person, and I don't stutter with any of my other coworkers, but it's like my throat chakra is locking up for me. You know, I don't want my throat chakra to lock up, but my throat chakra is naturally locking up to do me a favor in a weird kind of way. And that only happens around untrustworthy people. Otherwise, the other coworkers, I'd be like, hey girl, you know what I'm saying? So, look at that blue. Look at that. Oh, I love blue. Yeah, no, I love me some blue. It does look a little lighter on camera than in person. I like both blues. It's very dark in person, but I like it. I love blue. It's my favorite color to paint with. Dark blue. My second favorite color to paint with is pink. When it comes to the corks, I'm gonna put flowers in it. So it's like whatever. But we got this one. We painted it all dark blue. Then we got this one I just did. We painted it all pink. Oh, I love it. It is so gorgeous. Then we got this one all black. And I left the design out on the front because I liked how unique it looked. And then we got the first one, which is straight up red. So the red one was the first one. So is it ready for a second coat? So ignoring certain people saves you a lot of stress. Not everybody, but certain people. So that's pretty much all I'm going to paint for this video, but I'm going to finish painting these in another video. But I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. I just can't paint 4 bottles for one video. That's going to be a lot, because I feel like I might have to do 2 to 3 base coats for color, and then put the designs and patterns and all glitter and whatever else I decide to put on there. So yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed this video, and I hope that you learned something from my life lessons. I hope it wasn't too all over the place with me painting. But hey, I am going to turn 30. It's going to be an interesting video. Oh Lord, I'm scared. Y'all have a wonderful evening, a wonderful afternoon, whatever time y'all happen to be watching this video. I love y'all. Deuces.